Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nisi, the beauty icon. So today I'm going to be showing you how I do a quick weave install using the Empire brand U-part closure. So stay tuned. So here again, I'll be using my Chi Keratin Silky Fusion along with my Salon Pro 30-second Super Hair Bond Glue. And I'll be using my Essations Lacquer that's good for a soft or firm hold. So I'll be using the Model brand Remy Dream Weaver number 1B, 10-inch long in length. And I also have the Empire brand closure. As you can see, I have already cut out where the part is going to be, just so you can see through the closure. We want to get it as close to the color of her skin as possible. So I'm taking this rubber band to place it around the hair so the hair won't get in the way when I begin to glue it. And you notice I start gluing from one side to the other. And I start with the shorter side just so I can have it in place. And you want to pretty much line the closure up with her natural part line that you have already previously cut out. Okay, here you see me using my Baby Bliss Pro Extreme Hair Blow Dryer to expedite the glue drying process. And once this side is dry, you can switch to the other side and begin gluing that side as well. So the goal on this side is to make sure that you give it enough stretch so that the closure is not buckling in the middle. You want it to make sure that it's flat as possible, really flat. And place it as close as you can get it to the scalp. So once my closure is set, you notice I take my clippers to make sure there's no extra loose hairs in the back of her neck. So now that that's done, if you've seen any of my other videos, you would know that every time I start gluing my tracks, I start from ear to ear in the nape area, and then I work my way up into a horseshoe. So I'm just jumping the process here, just continuing the pattern all the way up. Track placement is everything. One of the biggest details is making sure that you're consistent with your pattern throughout your bob. Now, my pattern might not work for everybody, but everybody has their own pattern that is good for their style. I just encourage you, if you're just beginning to learn how to do a quick weave bob, to create your own. The biggest thing with your pattern is just to make sure that your pattern goes according to the cut that you're going to wear in the end. So you be you put your signature on it, and go for it. So at this point, you notice that my tracks are getting closer to the top, but as I get close to the top, I keep it right up against the other track, making sure that I fill in all the gaps so that part is full. And I want to make sure that there's no gap in between the closure and the tracks that I'm laying. So I'm at the point where I'm blending the hair with the closure, and I'm combing it together, getting ready to do my cut. Now, most of my bobs, I start with a clipper cut. And as I explained in my other video, whenever you're doing a clipper cut, you want to make sure that you go in with the lightest hand as possible, because you want to make sure that you're cutting that hair precisely. And it's okay not to cut too much with a light hand, but if you go in too heavy, then you might accidentally gouge the hair or cut the hair too deep where it's hard to blend. Believe it or not, this is my favorite part of the cut, just going in and pretty much forming the foundation of the cut with the clippers. I love this part, y'all. And I so love doing bobs, guys. I do a lot of bobs every day, just about. But I like the fact that a lot of my clients are natural. They come in and they don't want any hair left out, and they do a lot of different partings. I have a variety of options that I use, and I'm just gonna take my time and kind of just record different ones so y'all can see the variety of options, you know, that it gives with you being natural. And a lot of times when I do these bobs, they last up to 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the client, the upkeep, depending on, like, I know a lot of times my clients say it start itching after a while, so they'll come in maybe within 2 weeks and be like, I can't stand the itch, so we'll redo it and shampoo it and restyle it, or they'll let the hair breathe for a minute, do a silk press throughout or something like that. But it's just according to personal preference, how you keep up your style. You know, I tend to tell my clients, you know, call me in 2 weeks or let me know if you want to come back within 2 weeks and we can do a recurl. But with these particular bobs, I ask that no one put like heavy product on it. You could put a little oil on it just for shine, but nothing too heavy. And I can go back and just recurl it and it'll fall right back in place. Then you might have a client here or there that tend to push it beyond the 4 weeks, but I recommend no one go beyond 4 weeks with a quick weave, because the hair, it tends to lock up under the cap, or you might have some scalp issues that you might have to deal with beyond the 4 weeks. So I just recommend that anyone who does a quick weave, just don't go beyond the max of 4 weeks with your quick weave. You know, a lot of people like to get their money's worth when it comes down to getting the bobs done. And then my styles, particularly, they still look good within the 4 weeks. So, you know, a lot of people try to push it, you know, just to stretch it out as long as they can. But I highly recommend after 4 weeks, you got to take that out. Okay, now you can kind of see the foundation of the cut. Now I'm going to go in with my shears and do a little point cutting at a 90-degree angle. And when I say 90-degree angle, just holding the hair straight out from the head and going in and just adding some definition, a little layer effect with the point cutting. So once I finish here, I always go back on the sides with my razor. I love using my razor, guys. You can kind of see me hold my razor at an angle where I'm not just going straight in like a hacksaw, but I'm kind of going in, grazing that hair just a little bit, just to add a little bit more definition. You can kind of see it fall into place once it's cut. I also like using the razor because it adds a natural look to the hair once it's cut. And also, it just, as opposed to the shears, it doesn't look as choppy, but it gives it more of a natural flow. Once I finish with my cut, I always comb everything close together, and I allow my clients to look at the length and make sure that the length is comfortable for them. So you see her nodding her head, yes, it's okay. So as I begin to curl her hair, I always go in with my Chi Silk Infusion and just put a little shine to the hair. And then I also spray my Essentials lacquer for a little hole on the hair. Now when I spray the lacquer, it's not a hard hole. It's soft enough that you can comb through the hair, but firm enough for the hair to hold the curl. So here I'm using my Red Pro titanium flat irons. They're a 1/2 inch and they're good for short hair. Now here you see me use my 1-inch Chi Air flat irons. And yeah, they look beat up. They done had a lot of usage. I love these flat irons. They do really well, especially with the bob cuts. But y'all don't judge me because I know they look beat up, but it's okay. They still work good. And if you're thinking about going to purchase you some, you're going to get a lot of usage out of yours, and yours is going to start looking like these because you're going to do a lot of work with them, and they're really good. They're worth it.
My dreams come true. My dreams come
So now that we're done with the curling part, we can go ahead and comb everything together. I like to just pull everything back first. Pull everything back behind the head and then go back in and pull it forward. Once everything is set, I go back behind in the nape area and kind of just line everything up to make sure it's perfect in the back or close to perfect. You just want everything to kind of be uniform all over. So I take my clippers and I just, just shape it up real nice. And then you'll see me go back in with my trimmers just to make sure that there's no loose hairs that the clippers have missed. So here's the finished results. I didn't show the part where I went in with the little concealer on the part area just to make sure it blends in with her skin tone. So you'll see that the part has a little concealer on the inside. Enjoyed my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit your post notification buttons for more updates. Also, don't forget to comment below on what other videos you would like me to do. Thank you so much. You be blessed.